You look at the reality of that. What a beast of a truck. Looks really nice. What we're about to talk about here today is the whole diesel versus gas engines and your heavy duties. Like here we can see we got the amazing Cummins motor. Amazing. One of the best ever made diesel motors in a consumer grade truck that there is. This is the Cummins diesel. It's been fantastic. The ones that we have that we got on the Ford too, you know, the Power Stroke, you got the Duramax, you got all these ones that are phenomenal motors, and they've been around for a long time and are proven very well. The reason I wouldn't recommend buying them unless you need it though is not because the motors are bad. It's because of the after treatment requirements, the emission stuff that we have on them, the things that everybody was deleting and getting rid of, trying to make happen. Those are the problems that we face now in the diesel world. The fact that you got to run DEF fluid in these things, you know, and they got to deal with that. The EGR temps, the reburn on everything you got to do. I owned one in 2019. It was amazing. But the problem was that this aftermarket stuff requires so much maintenance and can cause so many problems. And again, if you're using this to tow heavy all the time, like if you are buying this truck to be able to use it to tow your camper all the time, or you're buying it because you use it for work and you got to tow heavy trailers or car haulers or your hot shot or something like that, then it makes perfect sense to buy it. And any one of them are really good. The downside to them for those of us that just want an HD truck is that the cost of maintenance is tremendous, and the cost of repair when it happens is tremendous. Now, I'm not saying don't buy an HD truck, because I personally would buy an HD truck before I would buy a full-size truck. I would not buy a full-size truck personally. I'd skip right over this. This level, this 1500 series, this kind of thing right here, the half-ton, I have zero interest in it. The market is too flooded. There's too many of them. They don't hold any value. They don't nothing. Here we hold a tremendous amount of value. We got a lot of features. This one here is a gas. Okay, this has got the 6.4 gas in it. This is an engine in here that is still cheap to work on, cheap to replace, affordable to maintain, easy to do. It's got the power and everything you need to get things done. Is it as good as a Cummins is that we have over there that's going to run like the one down here? Will it do what the Cummins will? No, this is not going to ever be a diesel. But it is going to do everything we need, save us $12,000 up front, save us in gas. Well, maybe it depends over time again, because you're getting a little better gas mileage with the diesel, but you're paying more for it. But you don't have all the emissions BS stuff on there that becomes a problem that you're going to get with this truck right here. But again, if you have to use this truck for work or to heavy tow all the time, you can't beat the diesel. That is what we bought ours for. That's the reason I got a diesel, was because we were pulling around a 7,000 pound, 35 foot travel trailer all the time. That's what we did. We pulled it across the country multiple times a year, and then my wife daily drove it around town. That's what we used it for. So naturally, I bought the Cummins when I got it. It was a great motor. It never steered us wrong, and I never had an issue with it. In the 90,000 miles we put on it in 3 years, it was absolutely amazing. However, it scared me to death. It scared me so much that now I was never out of warranty, and I made sure of that, but I would never own it out of warranty for fear that if I had it out of warranty and something went wrong. For example, mine was under that recall on that CP3 or 3 CPM4 fuel pump that was on it. I don't remember what they called it, but it had the 4 in it, and they needed to go back to the 3. Was under recall for that fuel pump thing. That thing was like $9,000 to repair if I had to repair it myself to do that, okay, or to pay to have that done. It was being done under recall, but it was like $9,000 or something like that. They were telling me is what it would cost to have that done. That's an insane amount of money that I don't have for something as simple as a fuel pump. Okay, I don't have that kind of money. So the diesels are crazy expensive to work on. And when they go down hard. Okay, that's basically the best way to put it. Big power, heavy weight, massive motor, very capable, one of the most amazing trucks ever made. But when a king falls, he falls hard. And that's what happens in the diesel world. Any brand diesel, doesn't matter who it is. Here's GM right here. Okay, we got same kind of thing, Duramax diesel right here. This is a used one they got over here, or not for sale, it says anyway, whatever they got going on. But we got one right here too. Okay, another Duramax right here. I'm sure there's a Power Stroke on here somewhere also, probably somewhere buried in on a lot. But the point is, amazing, amazing vehicles if you're going to use it for what it's designed. If you're not, every single one of them offer a gas variation. Okay, you can get these Silverado heavy duties and the GMC heavy duties, you can get them in a gas version. You can get the Ram without the Cummins, and you can get it in a gas version. You can get the Ford in a gas version. You got the 7.3 Godzilla, one of the most amazing motors ever made. You have these options that are not only going to save you money up front, they're going to be more reliable, less headache is what they're going to be. So that's my thought on the diesel. Get them if you want them, but my opinion, look at even here, look at this Rebel right here. I mean, what a beast of a truck. Notice that it's not a diesel, okay? This one right here, beautiful Rebel 2500, incredible truck. Everything about it, this is fantastic. It is not a diesel. I'd rather have it this way than have it as a diesel. Another one right here, 2500 Cummins, or 2500 non-Cummins, a gas engine, not a diesel, 6.4 in this thing. Okay, fantastic motors that are going to serve you well, but they're gas, so they're simple. They're functional, they're reliable, they're capable, they save you quite a bit of money. This one coming in at only $77,000 right here for this one. And, but I mean, that may seem like a lot of money, but it's a lot of truck too. So that's my take on it. I don't care what brand it is, so I'm not knocking any brand. Doesn't matter if it's Ford, Chevy, or Ram, Ford, or Chevy. They all make amazing diesel options if you need to have diesel. If you do not, my advice, buy the gas. It's going to save you a lot of headache and hassle, and you don't got to deal with the DEF. You don't got to deal with the waiting for it to warm up all the time. You don't have to deal with plugging them in the very extreme cold weather. You don't have to wait for the turbos to cool down and deal with all that crap when you're running down the road for a long haul. You don't have to deal with all this stuff. You don't have to deal with the oil changes are farther out. They're like 10 and 12,000, or actually 15,000 miles for the Cummins, but I still did mine every 10,000 miles, but it got expensive. Okay, it was a lot more money to do. Fuel filters replaced at every 15,000 mile intervals. DEF, sucking this thing dry. If you wanted to go from Michigan to Georgia, you better stop at O'Reilly's and pick up 3 jugs of DEF and keep them in the back of the truck back there with you, because you're going to need them when you're towing. It was a lot of headache. So my advice, skip the diesel unless you need the diesel. If you need the diesel, it's worth it. Even resale today is different than what it used to be. You go back 10 years ago, an HD truck without a diesel didn't have the resale value that it does now. Now that's kind of evened out to the point where it really doesn't matter. People are going to argue that one, but don't forget that buying a diesel is going to cost you $12,000 more. Okay, so like, well, my Cummins is worth more than a one that's not a Cummins. Yes, it is, but you also paid 12 grand more up front. So you have all these considerations and things you got to take into and you got to look at. So my advice, skip the diesel unless you absolutely need the diesel. I'm not knocking the diesels. They're amazing, but they're more headache and stuff than they're worth today because of the after treatment systems and the government regulations and the stupid BS that we have to deal with that goes along with the diesel today, because the EPA and all their emissions crap have ruined the diesel for us and made it too expensive, too complicated, and not as reliable enough. People that are doing it for a living, they got to do it, and they don't understand, and it makes sense, and people that have to tow heavy. If you don't, skip the diesel. Thanks for watching.